Good morning, students. In my previous session, I explained about what is linear programming problem, how to solve a linear programming problem, what are the methods available, what are the methods we use to solve a linear programming problem. So I told you there are three methods to solve a linear programming problem. One is simplex method, then big M method, two-phase simplex method. So the basis for all this method is simplex method only. So we did a problem also based on the simplex method. Now today we will see the next method, big M method. So before going to big M method, let me tell you what is artificial variable technique. Artificial variables technique. Okay. So these artificial variables, the variables which we use to get an initial basic feasible solution for the constraints of greater than or equal to type are known as artificial variables. Now what is that? See, I told you in simplex method we will be having, while explaining simplex method I told you we will be having two types of variables. One is slack variable, another one is surplus variable. Now slack variables are the variables which we use or which we add to the constraints which are less than or equal to type, and their cost is 0. And the surplus variables are the variables which is subtract from the constraints which are greater than or equal to type, and their cost is also 0. So for example, if I have constraints like this 2x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 2, x1 plus x2 less than or equal to say 6. Suppose I have constraint like this. Now I have to convert into equations. So when I have to convert these inequations into equations, what I'll do, because I have here less than or equal to type of constraints, I'll be using slack variables. So this will be 2x1 plus 3x2 plus s1 equal to 2, then x1 plus x2 plus s2 equal to 6. Now we formed a matrix of this equations. We have 2, 1, 3, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. Then whichever variables were forming an identity matrix, that variables should have 0 cost. So whichever variables are forming an identity matrix, that variables we took it in the first table of the simplex table. So these variables were in XB column. So these are called as the basic variables. The variables which you have in XB column are the basic variables. So the first table of simplex table is called as initial basic feasible solution. The solution which you get in the first simplex table, that is initial basic feasible solution. So here also, suppose I have instead of less than or equal to 2, suppose I have greater than or equal to 2. So greater than or equal to 2 means I should subtract a surplus variable. So I will subtract a surplus variable here. So here I will be having minus 1. Now this is not forming an identity matrix. So I will not be getting an initial basic feasible solution. So in order to get initial basic feasible solution, we will be adding another variable called artificial variable. So here I will be adding one variable plus a1 equal to 2, and this artificial variable will take a large penalty minus m in the objective function. Now here I will get what? a1. Here I will get a1. So here this will be 1 and this will be 0. Now this is forming an identity matrix. Now I can solve the problem. So artificial variables are the variables which we use or which we add to the constraints of greater than or equal to type. So you have two techniques to add these artificial variables. One is big M method. Another one is two-phase simplex method. So these are the two methods which we will be discussing in artificial variable techniques. So first we will say big M method. How to solve a LPP using big M method. So I will be explaining to you big M or it is also known as chance penalty method. Chance penalty method. So big M method or chance penalty method, both are same. Okay, so suppose I have a problem like this. Solve the following LPP using big M method. So what is that LPP is? Minimize Z is equals to, because big M and two phase both are based on simplex method, and in simplex method I explained to you about how to solve a maximization problem. Here I will take minimization problem, so that you will have an idea to solve a LPP using simplex method if the objective function is minimization of time. So minimize Z is equals to 12x1 plus 20x2 subject to constraints 6x1 plus 8x2, 6x1 plus 8x2 greater than or equal to 100. Another constraint is 7x1 plus 12x2, 7x1 plus 12x2 greater than or equal to 120, x1 x2 greater than or equal to 0. So as in simplex method, in this method also the first step is to check whether the given problem is a maximization problem or minimization problem. So here the given problem is minimization problem. So you have to convert this minimization problem to maximization problem using the relation. So since given LPP is minimization problem, we convert it into maximization. Problem using the relation. So what is the relation we will be using? Minimize of Z is equals to minus of maximize of minus Z. Minimize of Z is equals to minus of maximize of minus Z. We will be using this relation. So what I will write? I will take negative of this objective function. So this will become maximization Z. So now what is the LPP? So implies we get the LPP as maximize Z is equals to minus 12x1 minus 20x2. Maximize of minus Z is equals to minus 12x1 minus 20x2 subject to constraints 6x1 plus 8x2. Here I have greater than or equal to, so I will subtract a variable S1, surplus variable. This is equal to 100. Because I am subtracting a surplus variable, here I will have plus 0 into S1. Second one will be 7x1 plus 12x2 minus S2 is equals to 120. So here also I will get plus 0 into S2. Then x1, x2, S1, S2 are greater than or equal to 0. So now what we will do? We'll first we'll see the matrix form of the variables, constraints x1, x2, s1, s2. So what is the matrix form of these constraints? So I'll get 6, 7, 8, 12, minus 1, 0, 0, minus 1. Now here you are not getting an identity matrix. So what I should do in this type of situation only, we'll be using artificial variables. Now how to add artificial variables here? we'll add the artificial variables to these two constraints, and we'll take a large penalty minus m in the objective function. So these artificial variables are also non-negative. That means they are also positive. So now what is the LPP you will get now? The standard LPP as, look at this, maximize minus z is equals to minus of 12x1. So now standard LPP will be maximize of minus z is equals to minus 12x1 minus 20x2 so minus z is equals to minus 12x1 minus 20x2 here 1 plus 0 into s1 plus 0 into s2. Now subject to constraints, for the first constraint it is 6x1 plus 8x2 minus x2. So 6x1 plus 8x2 minus s1. So this will be 6x1 plus 8x2 minus s1. I'll add an artificial variable a1. Now this is equal to 100. Here it will be minus m into a1. Okay. So this minus m is the large penalty. Next we will have 7x1 plus 12x2 minus s2 plus a2 is equals to 120. Here again minus m into a2. Then x1, x2, s1, s2, a1, a2 are all greater than or equal to 0. Okay. Now you have to check the matrix form of this. Find the matrix, write the matrix form and check whether your standard LPP is correct or not. So this is 6, 7, 8, 12, minus 1, 0, 0, minus 1, a1, 1, 0, 0, 1. Now you got the identity matrix. Now you can draw the first simplex table and solve it. Same procedure you will have as the simplex method. Only the difference is variables will be more here. So draw the first simplex table. CB, XB, BI, then you will have minimum ratios here. So I'll write here CB, XB, BI, X1, X2, S1, S2, A1, A2. Here you will have ratio. Then here you will have CJ. Okay. So what are the variables forming an identity matrix? Here it is A1 and A2. You have 100, 120, 6, 7, 8, 12, minus 1, 0, 0, minus 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. CJs are minus 12, minus 20, 0, 0, minus m, minus m. So here also in the CB column you have A1 and A2. So their cost is minus m and minus m. Now you find CJs, sorry, ZJ. How to find ZJ? Same as in simplex table. Minus m into 100 plus minus m into 120. So you will get minus 220 m. This one minus 6m, minus m into 6 plus minus m into 7. So minus 13m. This one minus 8 into m minus 12 into m. It is not clear. Minus 13m minus 8 into m minus 12 into m minus 20m minus m into minus 1 minus m into 0. This will be m minus m into 0 minus m into minus 1 is m minus m into 1 plus minus m into 0 is minus m minus m into 0 minus m into 1 is minus m. Now you find Zj minus Cj's. So minus 13m will get plus 12 minus 20m plus 20. This will be m, this will be m, minus m plus m 0, minus m plus m 0. Now you have to check whether all the Zj minus Cj's are positive or not. So here you have negative values. Here you have minus 13m plus 12 and you have minus m minus 20m plus 20. Remaining are positive. Now out of these two, which is the most negative? So select that value whose minus m coefficient is most negative. So here minus 20m plus 20 is most negative. Now the corresponding variable x2 will enter the basis. Now this one to enter the basis means you should find which one will leave the basis. So for that you will find this ratio. So ratio is bi divided by x2. That means most negative column. And that ratio should be computed only for that elements which are greater than 0. Okay. So here 100 by 8 and here you have 120 by 7. So 100 by 8 means how much you will get? This is once 12 point something. 120 by 7 means once and so 17 point something you are getting. So which is the minimum ratio here? Is this 120 by 12 or 120? Sorry, this is 120 by 12. So 120 by 12 means how much you will get? This you will get 10. See 100 by 8, 120 by 12. So 120 by 12 means 10. Now which is minimum? This 10 is minimum. So corresponding variable is what? A2. Now A2 will leave the basis and this x2 will come. So this is entering variable and this is leaving variable. Okay. So intersection of these two, intersection of most negative and minimum ratio element, this is called as pivot element. Okay. Now you have to make necessary transformations. What you have to make? You have to make this pivot element to 1 and all other elements in that column to 0 using row transformations. Now how to make that row transformations? We'll see it once more. So whichever row is having pivot element, we should make transformation first to that row itself. Let me draw the simplex table first. CB, XB, BI, minimum ratio. So x1, x2, s1, s2, a1, a2 ratio. Okay. So here since the pivot element is to the second row, I will make row transformation to the second row only. Now what transformation we have to make? We have to make transformation in such a way that this pivot element is 1. Now how to make this pivot element 1? By dividing that complete row with the pivot element itself. So what I will do? R2 will be R2 by 12. So what I will get here? Now here what are the what are these basic variables? A1 and x2. Here CJs are minus 12, minus 20, 0, 0, minus m and minus m. So here minus m, x2 cost is minus 20. So R2 is R2 by 12. So 120 by 12 is 10. 7 by 12. 12 by 12 will be 1. 0 minus 1 by 12. Then you have 0 and 1 by 12. Now this is second row. And now in this first row of the previous table, this other element in that pivot element column should be made 0. So I have to make this 8 as 0 using this value now. So what I will do? R1 will be R1 minus 8R2. Okay. So corresponding to this element is 8. This we should make 0 using this number. So when I multiply this with 8 and subtract with this, only then I will get 0. So the transformation for R1 will be R1 minus 8R2. This is R1. Now this is R2. Okay, this R2 will be this one now. So first R1 is how much? 100. 100 minus 8R2. That means 100 minus 8 into 10. So 100 minus 80. How much will get? 20. Similarly, this one 6 minus 8R2. 6 minus 8 into 7 by 12. So how much you will get here? This is 4 2s, 4 3s. So 6 minus 14 by 3. So 6 minus 14 by 3 means you will get 4 by 3. So this is 4 by 3. Next, x2, 8. 8 minus, second one is 8 minus 8 into 1. So this is equal to 0. Then S1 you have minus 1. Minus 1 minus 8 into 0. So this will be minus 1. Next S2. S2 is 0. 0 minus, here you have 8 into minus 1 by 12. So this minus minus will become plus. You will get 8 by 12 which is equal to 2 by 3. So this will be 2 by 3. Next A1, 1 minus 8 into 0. So this will be 1. Next 0 minus 8 into 12. So this will be minus 2 by 3. Okay, now you find Zj. Zj will be minus 20m minus 30. So minus 20m minus 30. This will be minus 4m by 3 and plus minus 20 into 7 by 12. So this will be minus, I'll write here, minus 4m by 3. This into this plus this into this means minus 20 into 7 by 12. This is minus 140 by 12. So you get minus 140 by 12. Minus m into 0, minus 20 into 1. So this will be minus 20. Minus 1 into minus m, minus 20 into 0. So this will be m. Minus 2m by 3. So minus 2m by 3. Then I have plus 20 by 12. So here minus 2m by 3 plus 20 by 12. Because I don't have place, I am writing like this. Minus m into 1 plus minus 20 into 0, you will get minus m. This one minus 2m by 3, minus 2m by 3, minus 20 by 12. Okay, now which is the most negative of all this? How to find which is the most negative? You have to select the coefficient of m which is most negative. So here the coefficient of m which is most negative is Out of minus 4 by 3, minus 2 by 3, minus 2 by 3, minus 4 by 3 is most negative. So this is the most negative column. Now this x1 is the entering variable. Now to find the leaving variable, you have to find the ratio. Okay, ratio will be bi by x1 column. Okay, bi by x1 column means what? 20 by 4 by 3. So 20 by 4 by 3. That means 20 into 3 by 4 will get. So 20 into 3 by 4 means you get 15. Similarly, 10 by 7 by 12. So 10 by 7 by 12. So this will be 10 into 12 by 7. That means 120 by 7. So this is 120 by 7. 120 by 7 means what you will get? So which is the minimum ratio now? 120 by 7 means you will get 7 ones. This is 17 point something. Now which is the minimum ratio? 15 is minimum ratio. Now this minimum ratio is corresponding to this A1. Now this A1 is leaving variable. Now intersection of this most negative and minimum ratio element, this 4 by 3 is the pivot element. Now again you have to make, since because all of them are, you don't have positive values, again you have to continue the table. So here pivot element is 4 by 3, you have to make this 4 by 3 1 and all other elements in that column to 0. So here pivot element is corresponding to first row. So I will make the transformations to first row only. So this will be R1 as 3 by 4 into R1. When I multiply this with 3 by 4, I will get 1. So with that transformation, again draw the simplex table and enter the values. So you have to go on keeping on making these transformations and drawing the table and making the entries till all Zj minus Cj's are positive. So here CB, XB, BI, X1, X2, S1, S2. Once the artificial variables are leaving the basis, no need to make the entries. You can stop there. Again, no need to write the artificial variables. So because here A1 is leaving, A2 has already left, no need to find here also. And here I will write the ratio. So here the variables are x1 will come in place of a1 and here we have x2. So no need to write artificial variables because both the artificial variables have left the basis. Here Cj, this is minus 12, minus 20, 0 and 0. So this is minus 12 and this is minus 20. Now R1 is 3 by 4 into R1. That means 3 by 4 into 20. 3 by 4 into 20, what you will get? 15. Then 4 by 3 into 3 by 4 is 1. Then 3 by 4 into 0 is 0. 3 by 4 into minus 1 is minus 3 by 4. Then 3 by 4 into 2 by 3 is, you will get 1 by 2. Okay, now you got this. Now you make transformation for the second variable, second row. What is the second row? 7 by 12. Now this is corresponding to 7 by 12, you have R1 value as 1. So you have to, using this value, you have to make this as 0. So what I will do? R2 is R2 minus 7 by 12 into R1. When I subtract this with 7 by 12, only then I will get 0 here. So here R2 is R2 minus 7 by 12 R1. Now this is R2, this is R1. So R2 is 10 minus 7 by 12 into R1 is 15. So how much will get? this is 3 fours, 3 fives. So 10 minus 35 by 4. So this is 40 minus 35 by 4, you will get 5 by 4. So this is 5 by 4. Similarly this one, 7 by 12 minus 7 by 12 into R1. So this you got 0. Now 1 minus 7 by 12 into 0. So this is 1. Then you have 0 minus 7 by 12 into, so 0 minus 7 by 12 into minus 3 by 4. So this is 3 ones, 3 fours. So you will get 7 by 16. So this is 7 by 16. Then R2 for S2 is minus 1 by 2. Minus 1 by 2 minus 7 by 12 into R1 is again, you have 1 by 2. So how much you will get if I take 1 by 2 common? Minus 1 by 2, I get 1 plus 7 by 12. So I get minus 1 by 2 into 19 by 12. So minus 19 by 24. So this is minus 19 by 24. Now we got these values. Now again find Zj and Zj minus Cj. So Zj will be what is Zj? Minus 12 into 15 plus minus 20 into 5 by 4. So minus 12 into 15. So minus 12 into 15 will be how much? So this is 180. So I will get 180 and you have minus 20 into 5 by 4. So this is minus 180. So this will be 4 ones, 4 fives. So minus 25. So minus 180 minus 25 will be minus 205. So you are getting Zj as minus 205. So this is minus 205. Okay, then again minus 12 into 1 minus 20 into 0. So this will be minus 12. Then minus 12 into 0 plus minus 20 into 1. So minus 20. Similarly minus 12 into 3 by 4